So guys, in this section, we'll discuss about topology. We'll see what is topology first. So a topology is used to explain how the devices are physically connected in a network and the logical flow of information in the network. So in this example, we have Hyderabad LAN. In this Hyderabad LAN, we have 3 computers, 1 IP phone and 1 server is connected. And we have Bangalore LAN. In Bangalore LAN also we have 3 computers, 1 IP phone and 1 server is connected, and these 2 different LANs are connected with these 2 routers using WAN link. So this is the topology here, okay, which explains the physical connectivity of your devices. And there are 2 types of topologies. The first topology is the physical topology, and the second type of topology is logical topology. What is physical topology? Physical topology defines how the devices are connected physically, and logical topology defines the data flow from one computer to another computer. Okay, so this logical topology defines how the data flows from one computer to another computer. Physical topology describes the way in which devices are physically connected in the network, and there are different types of physical topologies like bus topology, ring topology, star topology. Okay, so these are the types of physical topologies. This bus topology. So in bus topology, the devices are connected to a single cable using T connector. So you will have one single cable and you will connect the devices. And it is called as bus topology and uses this T connector. This is the T connector, and you will use this T connector here like this. If you see here, this is the T connector. Using this T connector, you have connected computer 1, then you have connected computer 2, then computer 3, computer 4 using this T connector. Okay, so what is the advantage of this bus topology? Required less cable. So using one cable, you are connecting all the devices, but it is having the single point of failure. This is a disadvantage. If one link goes down, okay, these computers won't be able to communicate the other computers. This is the disadvantage of bus topology. Let's try to understand what is this ring topology. In a ring topology, each device is connected with 2 devices on either side. So if you see here, let us say it is PC1. So PC1 is connected with 2 devices on the either side. Let us say it is PC2 and it is PC3. And this PC2 again, it is connected with 2 devices. It is connected with PC1 and let us say it is PC5. Okay, so in a ring topology, each device is connected with 2 devices on either side of it, and the structure forms a ring. So it is forming a ring structure here, and that is why it is known as ring topology. And the entire network will be impacted if one workstation is shut down. Let us say if this computer is shut down or it is having some issues, so the entire network will be affected if we use the ring topology. With the star topology, the computers have independent connection back to the central device. So let us say this is the switch here, and all the devices are connected using this switch. Okay, so computers have independent connections back to a central device, for example, hub or switch, and a cable break only impact the device connected via. Okay, let us say cable is broken here, so it will impact this PC only. It will not impact the entire network. So this is the advantage of star topology, and nowadays we use star topology. A logical topology describes the way of data flow from one computer to another. So as we have discussed, it will describe how your data flows from one network to another, from one computer to another computer. In other words, it is a way in which devices communicate internally. So there are 2 different types of logical topologies in Windows environment. The first logical topology is work group model, and the second is domain model. This work group model is also called as peer-to-peer model, and domain model is also called as client server model. We'll see the difference between these two different models of logical topology. Guys, let us discuss what is this work group model. So as we have discussed, this work group model is also called as peer-to-peer model. So what is this work group model? What is this peer-to-peer model? Let us try to understand. So with this work group model, all the computers, whether it is a client or server computer, in the work group, they are called as peer. So we are using work group model, and we have some computers, let us say computer 1, which is having Windows 7, computer 2, which is having Windows 10, and computer 3 is having Windows Server 2016, computer 4 is having Windows 8, computer 5 is having Windows Server 2012. So we have some computers with Windows Server operating system. We have some computers with client operating system. Okay, so we are using work group model. So even we have installed server operating system, they are not considered as servers here. They are called as peer. And this, the computers with client operating system also, they are called as peer. There is no client, there is no server in work group model. All the computers, they are called as peer. And the communication is peer to peer. So all the computers in the work group are called as peer. There is no client, there is no client server concept in work group model. All the computers are considered equal here. The computers in work group mainly has its own local database where user accounts are saved. So guys, in work group model, all the computers saves the username and password on the local database. Okay, let us say on computer 1, user 1 is sitting. User 1 is using this computer 1. So you will create the, let us say you have created user 1 account and the password is 123. You have created the user account for this user 1. So this username, it will be saved in this local database of this computer. On next day, if this user 1 is using this computer 2, so he won't be able to log in because his username and password is created on computer 1 and it is stored locally. So again, you need to create the username and password for user 1 on computer 2. On third day, let us say user 1 is sitting on computer 4. Again, he can't log in to computer 4 because his username and passwords are created on computer 1 and computer 2. On computer 4, we need to create the username and password for user 1. Okay, so guys, we are taking the example of only one user here. Let us say you have hundreds of users and they are working in a call center. So in call centers, users can sit on any computer, okay, and they will log on to any computer and they will start working, which means if you have 100 users, you need to create 100 username and passwords on each computer. Okay, so you have 100 users, you will create to each and every computer. Let us say 100 users and 100 computers are there. So you will go to each and every computer and you will create 100 username and passwords. Okay, after some times, let us say 10 users have resigned the company. So again, you need to go to all the 100 computers and you need to remove these 10 users from all the computers. Then 10 new users have joined the organization. So again, you will have to go to all the 100 computers and you need to create 10 username and passwords for the new users. This is a problem with work group model. Okay, so if any user wants to access the other computer, he needs to create the account in that computer, and data is saved on the local hard disk. So whatever the data you are saving, it is saved on the local hard disk. So this is the work group model. All the username and passwords are created on the local database, and if you want the other users to use the other computers, you need to create the username and password on other computers as well. Then guys, we have one more logical topology which is called as domain model. And this domain model, it is also called as client server model. And we can have more than one servers. Okay, so just remember this terminology. Domain model, it is also called as client server model. So the system administrators use servers to control the client in the network. So system administrator, what they will do, they will use this server. So let us say we have one server and we have two clients here. So system administrator will control these two clients from this server. Okay, and it has centralized database, and the database, it is ntds.dit, where the user accounts are saved. So this server, it is having the centralized database. Okay, we have user 1, user 2, user 3. So you don't need to create this username and password, this user accounts on the clients. What you will do, you will create the user accounts on the server. Okay, and let us say user 1 wants to use this computer 1. So what he will do, he will log in, he will enter his username and password, and the request will go to the server. Server is having the database. We have created the username and passwords on server. So server will check whether this user 1 is available in the database or not. It is available and password is also correct. Then it will allow this user 1 to use this computer 1. After some time, this user 1 wants to use computer 2. Again, he will log in. He will enter his username and password to computer 2. The request will go to server. Server will check the username, user 1 is available. Then this server will allow this user 1 to use this computer 2 as well. You don't need to create the username and passwords, multiple username and password on clients. You are going to create the username and password once, and it will be authenticated by server. So let us say, take the same example. We have 100 users and we have 100 computers. So with this domain model, with this client server model, you are going to create the 100 users, 100 accounts on this server only once. You don't need to create this 100 users on 100 computers. You are going to create it only once. Okay, user 1, user 2, and so on. After that, as we have discussed, all the users can access all the computers now, and it will be authenticated by servers. So 10 users have resigned your company, so you will delete these 10 users on this server. Okay, you will delete it, and 10 more users or 10 more employees have joined the organizations. So you will create 10 username and password on this server. You don't need to go to the clients. You can manage it centrally. Okay, so system administrators use servers to control the clients in the network. It has centralized database where user accounts are saved, and NTDS means New Technology Directory Service. DIT stands for Directory Information Service. This is the database on the domain controller. And if any user wants to access other computer, he doesn't need to create the account again. We can save the data in centralized server. And guys, Kerberos is a network authentication protocol. It is designed to provide the strong authentication for client server application by using secret keys. So let us say user 1 wants to log into this computer. Okay, so he will enter the username and password. The request will go to the server. Server is authenticating. So who is taking this username from client to server and server to client? There is a protocol called Kerberos. So with the help of this Kerberos protocol, this authentication is done. And Kerberos is a network authentication protocol. It's designed to provide the strong authentication for client server application. So it is used for the authentication and it provides the security as well. So guys, we need to understand some terminologies. Okay, so the first terminology is domain. What is this domain? Domain is your logical network. Okay, so domain is a logical grouping of users, computers, and group objects to manage them centrally from the domain server. So domain, in simple words, it is your logical network. Okay, and domain should have the unique name. So when you are installing the domain, when you are installing this logical network, it should have the unique name, like ms.com is the name of your domain here in this case, and domain name is assigned by the DNS service. So guys, we have one service which is called as DNS service, and who is providing the name to our logical network? DNS service. Okay, DNS service provides a logical name to our domain. We will see. Okay, we will do the lab and you will see that we will provide the domain name and it is provided by the DNS service. And guys, we have one more term which is called as domain controller. We have seen domain. Domain means logical network. Domain controller means which controls your logical network. Okay, from the name you can understand what it is saying. Domain controller means the server which controls the domain. So to configure the domain model, we must have at least one domain server. So we must at least have one server to configure the domain model, and this domain server is called as domain controller. Okay, so here in this example you can see we have installed one server. Okay, and this server will control your logical network, and this server is called as domain controller. Okay, so this is the physical server. Domain controllers are physical servers. And to make domain controller, so how will you make this server as domain controller? Okay, so it is not that you have installed the Windows server operating system and it will start acting like a domain controller. We need to do some configuration to make this server a domain controller. We need to install a special service called ADDS, Active Directory Domain Service. So when you install Active Directory Domain Service on any server, it will become domain controller. So what is this Active Directory Domain Service? It stores the information of users, computers, groups, services, resources, etc. So it will store the information of users, computers, and other things of your network. Okay, and ADDS domain controllers also authenticates users and computer accounts when they log in. So who is managing? Who is authenticating the users? Okay, when any user wants to log into any computer, let us say user one wants to log into this computer, the request will go to this server. So who is authenticating the request? It is authenticated by the Active Directory domain controller. Okay, using Kerberos protocol. Domain model is suitable for small to large organization. So guys, requirement to install the domain controller. So we must have domain controller. Okay. So what is the requirement? Let us try to understand. We need physical or virtual server with Windows Server installed. So we have already created one virtual machine and we have installed Windows operating system. Okay. And it should be in work group. I will show you. Okay. The computer should be in work group and server should be connected to the network. So server connectivity should be there, guys. So for connecting the server to the network, we need to configure the IP address. We need to configure the preferred DNS, and DNS service gets installed. So guys, this DNS service, as I told you, this DNS will provide the unique name to the domain. Okay, and this DNS service, it will get installed with ADDS. So to make this to make any computer domain controller or DC, we need to install Active Directory domain service. So when we install the Active Directory ADDS, this DNS service will get installed automatically. Okay, and it is also called as DNS server. So guys, remember one point, we want to make one server as domain controller. So we need to install Active Directory domain service. So when we install ADDS, DNS server will be installed on the same machine. So this machine, it is called as domain controller, and the same machine, it is called as DNS server as well, because this DNS server is also getting installed with ADDS. So it is performing two roles by default. One is domain controller, and it is also your DNS server as well. We will see, okay, what is this DNS server in our advanced classes as well. As of now, just try to remember this point. When you install ADDS, the DNS server gets installed, and this server will act as domain controller, and it is also act as DNS server. Okay, so DNS server gets installed with ADDS. It is also called as DNS server. IP address and preferred DNS will be same. So let us say you are configuring the IP address 10.0.0.1 to this domain controller. Okay, it is having these options: IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. We have configured IP address 10.0.0.1, and we have one option here, preferred DNS server, because DNS server is already installed on this server. This server is acting as DNS server as well, and the IP address is 10.0.0.1. So IP address of this computer is 10.0.0.1. So the preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1 only. Okay, you need to remember this point. IP address and preferred DNS IP address should be same on the domain controller. So we will configure 10.0.0.1 IP address and preferred DNS, and install ADDS manually. Then only this machine will act as domain controller, or then only this machine will act as server. So guys, as we have discussed, installing operating system is not enough. We need to install the ADDS to make this server domain controller. So let us see how to install the Active Directory domain Active ADDS service. Let us see the terminologies one more time. What is domain? Domain is a logical network. Okay, domain required a unique name which is provided by DNS service, and DNS service gets installed with ADDS. Then we have one more terminology which is called as domain controller. Domain controller, it is a server which controls the domain. Okay, domain controller controls the domain. Domain controllers control the logical network. Then we have ADDS. ADDS, to make a server domain controller, we must install a special service called ADDS. ADDS is a service. If you install this service, it will become domain controller. Once it becomes domain controller, it will control the domain. So we'll configure the domain controller. So guys, you need to remember one point here. When you configure the domain controller, DNS service gets installed automatically. So to configure the domain controller, we need to configure the IP address. And where will you configure the IP address? So we have already created one virtual machine. On that virtual machine, we have installed Windows Server 2022 operating system, and we have provided the name to that server as server 01. On that server, we will configure the IP address 10.0.0.1. And as we have discussed, when you configure the domain controller, DNS service gets installed. So the preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1, same as IP address. Then we will install the ADDS. After installing ADDS, we will promote this server to domain controller. So guys, you need to remember this point. Installing ADDS is not enough to make this server domain controller. We need to promote this server to domain controller after installing the ADDS. And the prerequisites: server with Windows Server operating system installed. So we have already installed Windows Server 2022 and must be in work group. So guys, whenever you install any operating system, that server will be in work group by default. To add or remove any service like ADDS, we must use Server Manager console. Let us verify if the server is in our group or not. Then we'll configure the IP address. So first we'll go to server. Okay, so this is the virtual machine. On this virtual machine, we have installed Windows Server 2022 operating system, and by default, all the servers are in work group. So how to verify? You will go to this PC, right click, properties, then you will go to advanced system settings, then you will go to computer name. Under computer name, you will see this server is in work group and the server name is server -01. Let us configure the IP address. So we have decided to configure the IP address 10.0.0.1 and preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1, same as IP address, because we are going to install the DNS service as well. So you will go to control panel, double click, then you will go to network and internet. Under network and internet, you will go to view network status and tasks. Then you will go to change adapter settings. Under change adapter settings, you will select the adapter where you want to configure the IP address. Right click, properties. Then you will select internet protocol version 4. Double click on it and you will select the second option, use the following IP address. We'll configure 10.0.0.1. Then the subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0, and we are not going to configure the default gateway here because we don't have any router in our environment. Then we'll configure preferred DNS 10.0.0.1. Then we'll click OK. OK. Then we'll close it. Then you will provide it. Now guys, how to install ADDS? So you will go to server manager. All the services will be installed from server manager. So how will you open the server manager? You will go to start and you will select this server manager option. Then you will select this option, add roles and features. So before installing the ADDS, okay, if you see here, if you go to tools, there is no Active Directory service available here. Okay, it is having like computer component services, computer management, disk cleanup. It doesn't have any Active Directory service. When you install the Active Directory, you will get all the services here. And guys, let us install this Active Directory. So you will select add roles and features. Then you will click next. And guys, here you have two options, role based or feature based installation. If you select this first option, it will install the roles on this current server. Let us say you have one more server like server 2 and you want to install ADDS on the remote server on the other server. You will select the second option, remote desktop services installation. If you select this option, which means you are not installing ADDS or any service on this local server, you are installing the service on the remote server. So guys, we are installing ADDS on the current server. We'll select the first option. We'll click next. Let me take you back. Yeah. Now guys, here you will verify the server name. Is it correct or not? Server -01 and IP address. Okay. If it is correct, you will click next. And if you want to make any changes, you will select this previous option and you will change the server name or IP address, and again you will proceed with the installation. So it is correct. We'll click next. Then guys, here you will see the multiple rows. So you will select Active Directory Domain Services, ADDS. When you select this option, it will ask you to add the features. When you add the features, this option will be selected. It is checked. Then we'll click next, 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 and we'll click install. So it is installing the Active Directory Domain Services. This is the role. Okay, we'll wait for a few minutes. Alright, so the service is installed. As we have discussed, to make this server domain controller, installing the service is not enough. We need to promote it to the domain controller. If you see here, promote this server to a controller. Installing the service is not enough. We need to promote it to the domain controller. If you see here, promote this server to a domain controller. So we'll click close here, and this is the notification center. Okay, you see this flag, and you see this yellow error here. So which means it is asking us to make some actions here. Okay, so what is that action? It is asking you to promote this server to a domain controller. Okay, so now guys, here once you click this option, let me close it and open it one more time. Once you click this option and you will select this promote this server to a domain controller, you will get this window, and here you will get three options. Add a domain controller to existing domain. So we don't have any existing domain. Add a new domain to existing forest. So we don't have any existing forest. We'll see what is this forest in our advanced classes. So we need to create a new forest here. Okay. So let us select this last option, and we need to provide the name. So we have decided to provide the name ms.com. Okay, then we'll click next. And guys, here we need to define the forest function level and domain function level. Okay, and by default it has selected Windows Server 2016. So let us try to understand what is this forest function level and domain function level. So this functional level, this option is useful when you have multiple Windows operating system versions available in your network. Let us say you have domain controller 1, okay, and this domain controller is used to control the logical network. So let us say this domain controller goes down. What will happen if this domain controller goes down? Users won't be able to log on to their computers. So what we will do, we will configure one additional domain controller or backup, you can say. If this domain controller goes down, users can log on to their computers using this domain controller too. Let us say you have installed domain controller 1 and you have installed Windows operating system on this domain controller 1, and domain controller 2 or additional domain controller is having Windows Server 2022. Okay, so if you install this Windows Server 2022 and you want to work with Windows Server 2012, so you need to select the functional level Windows Server 2012. If you select the latest version Windows Server 2022, it will not work with domain controller 1. Okay, so this option is useful when you have multiple Windows operating system versions available in your network. If you already have DC1 installed on Windows Server 2012 and you are installing DC2 on Windows Server 2020, if you select Windows Server 2020 now, it will not work with Windows Server 2012. So to work with Windows 2012, you must select the functional level as Windows 2012, but you will not get the latest features of Windows Server 2022. Okay, but you can later raise the function level to 2022. So let us say you are installing the Windows Server 2022 on this server and you have selected the forest function level 2012. So later if you want, you can raise the forest function level to Windows 2022. But if you have selected 2022 now, you can't reduce if you select the forest function level 2022, you can't reduce to Windows 2012 later. Okay, so this is the use of this function level. So guys, in our network we don't have any older version. We will go with the latest version, or let us go with Windows 2016, the default value. Okay, Windows Server 2016. And if you see here, it is DNS, it is automatically selected. It will install it automatically, and it is having one more option, global catalog. Okay, and we can't uncheck this option. Okay, so this global catalog feature is compulsory. Okay, when you are creating a new forest, we'll see what is the use of this global catalog feature in our advanced classes. Then guys, we need to provide the DSRM password, directory service restore mode. So what is this password about? Let us say you have installed the domain controller and you have created some usernames and passwords like user1, user2. Just one second. You have created some users like user1, user2, user3, and you have deleted all these users by mistake. Okay, and you want to restore this user, you can't restore. Okay, I'm just taking the example of users, but in Active Directory you will have groups, OUs, computer information. So if you delete the users, you won't be able to get these users back. So what you will do, you will take the backup. Okay, so we'll take the backup of this database, user1, user2, user3. If it is deleted, and you will restore this backup. So while restoring the backup, it will ask you this password. Okay, so you should remember this password, and it is very rarely used. MCSC hash dollar, and we'll click next. And it is saying that DNS is not installed, so it will do the installation. And NetBIOS name you will get MS. Okay, the domain name is ms.com, so NetBIOS name will be MS. Now we'll click next. So guys, if you see here, it is having 3 paths here. Database folder, so it will save the database here. C, Windows, then NTDS. This is the database folder, and log files are saved in this NTDS folder. And sysvol folder, it will have the, what do you say, the policies. Okay, so if you want to change the path, you can change the path. If you want to go with the default setting, you will click next. And if you see here, you will get this review your selection option. So configure this server as the first Active Directory domain controller. So guys, this is the first Active Directory domain controller in our network, and the domain name is ms.com. NetBIOS name is MS. Forest function level is 2016, which means this server will work with Windows Server 2016. Okay, and global catalog, it has already automatically selected, and DNS you can see it is installing here. And we'll click next now. And it is verifying the prerequisites for domain controller. It is checking whether this server is compatible with the domain controller or not. So if you see here, prerequisite checks passed successfully, click install to begin the installation. So we'll click install. It will install the domain controller. So it is waiting for DNS installation to finish. So if you see, it is waiting for DNS installation to finish. So it is installing the DNS as well. So it has installed the DNS and it will restart the server after the installation of ADDS and DNS. Okay, the server is restarted. Let us log on. After that, we'll verify whether this server is a domain controller or not. So if you go to tools, you will see the Active Directory services, Active Directory Administrative Center, Active Directory Domains and Trust, Active Directory module. Okay. And if you go to this PC, then properties, previously it was in work group. Now you will see it is a part of domain ms.com. We'll go to advanced system settings. We'll go to computer name. Under this computer name, if you observe here, now it is saying domain ms.com. Okay, and still it is not confirmed whether it is a domain controller or not. We'll go to command prompt. Then we'll type this command net accounts. So if you see here, the computer role primary, which means this is the domain controller. Okay. So if you see this primary, and guys, we need to create 2 more virtual machines. Create virtual machines for member server and workstation. We'll see what is the meaning of this member server and workstation. So what we will do, we will create 2 virtual machines. On one virtual machine, we will install Windows Server 2022. On other machines, we will install Windows 10. Okay. So guys, you don't have only one server in your network, you will have multiple servers. So for multiple servers, we need multiple virtual machines. So we'll create 2 virtual machines now. We'll provide the path. We'll create one folder here and we'll provide the name as server2, server-02. Click OK. Then we'll provide the virtual machine name as server-02. Then we'll click next. So we'll go with the default setting. Okay, finish. Your virtual machine is created. Now we will install the operating system. Edit virtual machine settings. CD DVD. Use ISO image. Browse. Software. ISO image. And Windows Server 2022. Then we'll click OK. And we'll start the virtual machine. It is the same process which we have seen yesterday. You need to press any key, then Windows setup. Meantime, we will create one more virtual machine. We'll click next. I will install the operating system later. Next. Excuse me, guys. So we'll install the Microsoft Windows, but on this third virtual machine, we'll install Windows 10 operating system. So we need to select Windows 10 operating system. Then we'll click next. Again, we'll provide the path. We'll go to C. Then we'll create one folder. And we'll give the name to this folder as workstation 1. Okay, this name should be appeared here. Then we'll click OK. And we'll click next. So we'll provide the name of this virtual machine as well, like workstation 1. Then we'll click next, next, finish. Then we'll provide the path to the ISO image. So you can see the virtual machine is created. Edit virtual machine. Then we'll go to CD DVD, use ISO image file, and we'll go to desktop, software, ISO images, and we'll install this option. Okay, Windows 10, and we'll click OK, and we'll power on the virtual machine. So you need to press key, then it will start the installation. Now here, if you see on server 2, we are installing Windows Server 2022. We'll click next. We'll click install now. On Windows 10, we'll click next and we'll click install now. On workstation 1, it will install the Windows 10. On server 2, it is installing Windows Server 2022. So we'll go with Windows Server 2022 Data Center Desktop Experience. Then we'll click next. We'll accept the license agreement. Then we'll click next. And we are going to install the operating system from scratch. So we will select the second option. And here we'll click new. Apply. It will create the partitions for supporting files. In partition 1 and partition 2, it will store the supporting files. In partition 3, it will install the operating system. And this is your C partition. We'll click next, and it will follow these steps. Okay, it will copy the Microsoft Server operating system files, and it will get the files ready. After that, it will install the features. Then it will install the updates. Then it will finish up the installation. So let us go to workstation 1. Here it is asking for a key. So you will say, I don't have a product key. We are using the trial version, and we'll install Windows 10 Professional, and we'll click next. And we'll accept the license, and then we'll click next. Again, we need to install the operating system from the scratch. The first option is to upgrade the operating system. So we are not upgrading the operating system, we are installing the operating system from scratch. So we'll select the second option. We'll click new. It will create the partitions, supporting partitions. Then we'll install the operating system on the third partition. This will be our C. Then again, on Windows 10 also, it will copy the files. It will make the files ready. Then it will install the features. It will install the updates. Then it will finish. Okay, so Windows Server is installed and Windows 10 is also installed on this server, and we have promoted this server to domain controller. Then guys, before ending the class, what we have done, we have created two virtual machines. Okay, and in one virtual machine we have installed Windows Server 2022. On other virtual machine we have installed Windows 10 machine. Let us move forward. So topology will close it. Now guys, before moving forward, you should remember these terminologies. Okay, they are very important. Okay, if you know the difference between these terminologies, you will get the advanced concepts. Okay, so domain controller, as we have discussed, it is a server that controls the domain, which means the domain controller controls the logical network. And what is the domain? Domain is a logical network, and we have ADDS. To install domain controller, we must install a special service called ADDS. Okay, we have some other terminologies as well. We have some other terminologies. Okay, the first terminology is client. What is the meaning of this client? The machine which is joined the domain is called as a client. So we have a domain, okay, like ms.com, and you will, so these are the machines, they have not joined to the domain. Okay, when you join these machines to domain, they are called as clients. Okay, so client means the machine which is joined the domain, and there are two types of clients in the domain model. We have one member server. Okay, what is this member server? The machine which is joined the domain with server operating system installed. Let us say you have installed, you have one server and you have installed Windows Server 2022, and you have joined this machine with server operating system to ms.com domain. So it is called as member server because we have installed server operating system on this machine and we have joined this machine to ms.com. It is called as member server. What is the use of this member server? We will discuss it later. Okay, and if you see here, the machine which is joined to domain with server operating system, it is called as member server. Example, Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2022. And server operating system, it is an operating system that is designed to be used on server. Okay, you will take one server machine and you will install the server operating system. It is used to provide the services to multiple clients. So this server operating system is used to provide the services to multiple clients, and it can serve multiple clients at a time, and it is very advanced operating system. So this server operating system is used to provide the services to multiple clients, and it is very advanced operating system. Okay guys, so we have two types of clients. One is member server and we have workstation. This workstation, the machine is joined the domain with client operating system. Installed is called as workstation. So you have one computer, let us say you have installed Windows 10 operating system. So this Windows 10 operating system is a client operating system and you have joined the domain ms.com. Then it will become workstation. Okay, so you have two types of clients. One is member server, the other one is workstation. Member server, you will install server operating system on on a machine and you will join the domain, and you will install client operating system on a machine and you will join the domain, and it will become workstation. Now guys, let us see when to install a member server. So we have seen that machine with Windows Server operating system installed, it called as member server. But what is the use? When to install this member server? So we have domain controller in our network. So this is a domain controller. Okay, and the IP address of this domain controller is 10.0.0.1, and the server name is server-01. So we already have one domain controller in our network, and our requirement is to install the servers like DHCP server, file server, print server, and web server. So we can install these services. We can install DHCP service, file server, print server, web server on this domain controller. Okay, but what will happen if you install all the services on the domain controller itself? Server performance will be reduced. And if one server goes down, all the services goes down. Okay, if this server goes down, DHCP, file server, print server, and web server, all the services goes down. So we can't install some applications like SAP and SAP on DC. So we have some services which can't be installed on domain controller like SAP. So this is the problem here. If you try to install all the services on domain controller. So what is the solution? The solution, so installing multiple services on domain controller is not a good idea. So instead of installing multiple services on domain controller, we will install them on separate member servers. Okay, you will take one server, you will install Windows Server operating system like Windows Server 2022, and you will install DHCP service. Then you will take one more server and you will install Windows Server operating system. Then you will install web service and so on. So each server will have separate service. So if this server goes down, it will not impact the other services. So instead of installing multiple services on domain controller, we will install them on separate member servers. So if one server goes down, it will not affect the other server. And what is the requirement to make the member server? System with Windows Server operating system installed like Windows Server 2008, 2012, or 2022, etc. And should be in workgroup. And guys, we are going to configure the IP address from 10.0.0.0 network because we have already configured one IP address on domain controller from this network, which is 10.0.0.1. So we'll use the same network. Okay, we will configure the IP address from the same network. Okay, so this will be the IP address of member server. So this is a logical connectivity, and we'll configure preferred DNS as 10.0.0.1. So preferred DNS will be our domain controller IP address. Then we will join this machine to domain manually because it is in a work group. Okay, manually we need to join the machine to the domain ms.com. After joining the machine to domain, it will be called as client or member server. Okay, it will be called as client, and this client is having server operating system installed, so it will be called as member server. So system with server operating system installed is called as member server. So guys, our lab. So what we will do now, we'll configure the IP address and preferred DNS. Okay, so we have already installed one. We have created one virtual machine and we have installed Windows Server 2022. Okay, in our last class, before ending the class, we have created two virtual machines, and on one virtual machine we have installed Windows Server 2022. On the other virtual machine we have installed Windows 10 operating system. So now what we will do, we will go to these machines and we'll configure the IP address. So we'll configure the IP address. So we'll configure 10.0.0.2 IP address on this Windows Server operating system, and the subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0, and preferred DNS IP address PDNS will be 10.0.0.1. This is the IP address of our domain controller. Then what we will do, we will join the client or we will join the server to the domain. So in member server, no need to install the Active Directory. Okay. And you must visit all the machines and join them to domain manually. So this is a manual process, guys. And you will have to go to each and every computer. You will have to join all the machines to domain manually. We will see how to join the domain. Then we'll verify the things. Okay, whether it has joined to the domain or not. It has joined to domain ms.com or not, and we'll run this net accounts command as well to verify it is a server or not, member server or not. Okay, so let us do this lab first. So guys, this is our domain controller server one. So what we will do now, we will change the name to DC or domain controller before moving forward. We'll click OK. And this server name is server-2, and we have just installed the operating system. Okay, and we need to provide the password. So automatically it will create the administrator username, and we need to provide the password. So let us provide the same password, mcse123 hash dollar, mcse123 hash dollar. Okay guys, so after installing the operating system, we need to install the drivers. Okay, so how will you install the drivers? You will go, very good. You will go to VM, then you will go to install VMware tools. Okay, VMware tools will install the drivers. Okay, so this is the fresh installation. After installing the operating system, we didn't do anything. Let us log on to this machine. Okay guys, so we have logged on to this server, and on the desktop we have only one icon. We need to set up all the icons. So how will you set up all the icons? You will go to start, right click, then you will go to settings.
Desktop.
Then we'll go to personalization. Under this personalization, we'll go to themes. Under themes, we'll go to desktop icon settings. And here we'll check all the icons: computers, user files, network, control panel. Recycle bin is already checked here. So if you see the desktop, you will find all the icons. And guys, if you observe here, the screen is not full because the drivers are not installed or VMware tool is not installed. So we need to install the VMware tool and you will get the big screen, the complete screen here. Install VMware tools. Then you will go to this PC. Then you will go to DVD drive. You click next, next, install. So it will install the VMware tools. So guys, VMware tools are installed and we'll click finish and it will restart the computer. Okay, so let us click yes. So you can see we are getting the full screen now because the drivers are installed. Let us log on to this server. Now guys, what we need to do here, we'll configure the IP address. Okay, so the domain controller IP address is, the IP address of domain controller is 10.0.0.1. So we'll configure the IP address on this server as 10.0.0.2 and preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1. This is the IP address of domain controller. Okay, and we'll change the host name as well. So by default, the server will provide the computer name. Okay, any random computer name. So we need to provide any meaningful name to the computer. We'll provide server dash 02. So first change the name of this server. How to change the server name? You will go to this PC, right click, properties. Then you will select this option, rename this PC. By default, this is the name of this server, win-214gme. So we need to provide some meaningful name like server-02. And we'll click next. So again, when you rename the computer, it required restart. Okay, so we'll select this option, restart later. Then guys, we have changed the name. After changing the name, we will configure the IP address. So you will go to search ncpa.cpl, and we'll go to network properties, IP version 4, and the IP address will be 10.0.0.2. Then the preferred DNS will be the IP address of our domain controller, because on this domain controller we have installed DNS. So this is the DNS server as well. So 10.0.0.1. IP address is configured. We'll click OK. Then we'll click close here. Now guys, what we will do, we'll join this server to domain. So if you see this network adapter, it is saying unidentified network. When we join this server to domain, you will see ms.com here. Okay, and here let us join this server to domain ms.com. So again, you will go to this PC, right click, then you will go to advanced system settings. Under this system properties, you will go to computer name. And guys, if you see here, this computer is in work group. It has not joined to the domain ms.com. Okay, so we will join this server to ms.com domain. So how will you join? You will select this option change, and you will select this option. You will go to more. Okay, just 1 second, guys. What happened? Okay, no problem. First, we'll restart the computer. Okay, because the restart is pending, that is why we are unable to join this server to domain. It is restarted. Okay, we'll wait for few seconds. We'll let this server settle down. We'll go to this PC, right click, properties. Again, we'll go to advanced system settings. To join this server to domain, then you will select this change option. Now we can join this server to domain. Okay, we can select this option. Then we'll type the domain name ms.com. Then you will click OK. Then you will type the administrator username and password. administrator@ms.com. Password is mcse123#. Then we'll click OK. Now it will contact the domain controller, and you can see it has this computer is joined to ms.com. It is welcoming us. Welcome to the ms.com domain. Then we'll click OK. And again, after joining any computer to domain, we need to restart that computer. So let us restart it. This computer is restarted. after joining the domain. Let us verify whether it has joined the domain or not. So we'll wait for a few seconds. Let us verify. So we'll go to this PC, right click, properties, and if you see here, full device name is server-2.ms.com. And if you see whether it has joined the domain or not, again you will go to advanced system settings, then you will go to computer name, and if you see here, previously it was showing work group, now it is showing domain.ms.com, which means it has joined the domain now. And how will you verify whether it is a domain controller or member server? So you will go to command prompt, and net accounts. So when you type this command, if it is a member server, you will see server here, and if it is a domain controller, you will see primary. So let me show you. Net accounts. Okay, primary means it is a domain controller. If you see server, which means it is a member server. And on member server, you don't need to install the Active Directory. You don't need to promote this server as a domain controller. Only you need to join the server to the domain. That's it. Okay, guys. So we have done this lab. We have configured the IP address and preferred DNS. We have verified the IP address. Let us verify the IP address. What is the IP address? Using ipconfig command. So this is the IP address we have configured 10.0.0.2. And we can check the connectivity as well. So we should check whether it is pinging or not. So we'll go to 10.0.0.2 and ping 10.0.0.1. So it is getting the response as well. Okay, then we have already joined the client to the domain. After that, guys, when to install the workstations. We have seen when to install the member server. Now let us try to understand when to install the workstation. So workstations obtain the services from the member server like DHCP server, file server, print server, web server, etc. To access these services, you need a machine with client operating system installed. So these are the client machines, and they will take the services from the server. Okay, and if you purchase the same operating system in bulk, you will get the discount from Microsoft. So let us say you want to install the workstations. Okay, you have hundreds of computers and you want to install the client operating system on those hundreds of machines. So what you will do, you will purchase the same operating system in bulk, like Windows 10. All the hundreds of machines will get installed Windows 10 operating system. If purchase the same operating system, you will get the discount from Microsoft. And you will get one more advantage of purchasing the same operating system. Let us say if you get an error in one machine, the same solution will be applied to all the machines. Okay, if the operating systems are different, the solutions will be different. So from here, you will install this is the link to install the Windows client operating system or Windows 10 operating system. Okay, so the requirement system, we need to join the workstation to domain. Now we have joined the member server to domain. Now we will join the workstation to domain. So what is the requirement? System with Windows client operating system installed, like Windows 7, Windows 8 or Windows 10, and should be in work group, and we will configure the IP address 10.0.0. Let us configure 10.0.0.20. Okay, so we'll configure the IP address from the same network and it will form the logical connectivity, and preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1. After that, we'll join the machine to domain manually because it is in work group. After joining the machine to domain, it will be called as client, and the system with client operating system, it is called as workstation. Okay, so guys, we need to configure the IP address and preferred DNS. Then we'll verify the IP address using ipconfig command. Then we'll ping the domain controller. Then we'll join the workstation to domain. Okay, so we have already installed the Windows operating system yesterday. In our last class, we have created one virtual machine and we had installed the Windows 10 operating system and we had given the name to this virtual machine as workstation 1. Now what we will do, we will log on to this computer and we'll install the drivers. After installing the drivers, we'll configure the IP address from 10.0.0.0 network. Preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1. Okay, after that we'll join the domain and we'll change the computer name as well. So we had just installed the operating system. Okay, and now it is creating the profiles for you. Okay, and it is doing some settings here. It is making the system ready. So guys, we are setting up the Windows 10 operating system for organization. So we'll select the second option. Then we'll click next. And you will select this option, join domain instead. And you will provide the name here. Then you will click next. The password, so we'll provide the same password. MCSC 123 hash dollar. And we'll confirm the password MCSE 123 hash dollar. Then we'll click next. And we need to provide some security questions, answers here. Okay. It is like, where were you born? So Hyderabad. Next, second security question, nickname Asif. And the third security question, pet name, anything. We'll click next. Just 1 second. We need to accept. So this Windows 10 takes a lot of time. Servers are not taking much time here. So guys, any doubt till here?
No. No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Alright guys, so let us set up the icons first. We'll go to start, right click on start, then settings, then we'll personalization, we'll go to personalization, then we'll go to themes, desktop icon settings, then we check the icons. All the icons are available here. Now guys, we'll change the name and we'll install the tools. Workstation 1. We'll click next. Restart later. Then we'll install VMware tools. Next, install. Finish and we'll restart the computer now. It is restarted. Let us log on to this machine. Okay, so let us configure the IP address on this machine from 10.0.0.0 network. So we'll configure any IP address. Let us configure 10.0.0.200 and preferred DNS it will be 10.0.0.1. You click OK and we'll verify the IP address. The IP address is 10.0.0.200. Will ping the domain controller 10.0.0.1. It is pinging. Okay, so so it is not the part of domain. Let us join this computer to domain. Then we'll verify. We'll go to properties. Then we'll go to advanced system settings. Then we'll go to computer name. Under computer name, select this change option, domain ms.com. Then we'll click OK. Administrator @ You are currently offline. Okay. Administrator. You need to select English US @ms.com. Then password MCSE123 $. Then we'll click OK. Again, we need to restart this machine. Okay, let us verify this computer has joined the domain or not. We'll wait for a few seconds. We'll go to this PC, properties, advanced system settings, computer, and you can see it is a part of ms.com domain. Okay, and if you go to command prompt and you will type net accounts, it will show you workstation. Okay, it is a workstation, it is a member server, and this is the domain controller or primary. Okay, so we have successfully done all these labs. Okay, so now guys, you might be thinking, why can't we use the server operating system for workstation? Why these different operating systems? So you have hundreds of computers, and if we install the server operating system on all the hundreds of computers, you need to pay a lot. They are very expensive server operating systems, and it will be difficult for users to manage the server operating system. Okay, so and why can't we use the client operating system for member servers? Okay, so this client operating system, it is a basic operating system which doesn't have the advanced features like server operating system, but it is an user friendly operating system and it is cheap, which has enough features to access the services from server. So that is why we don't use. So we'll see user management. So guys, there are two types of users. One is local user and the other is domain user. What is local user? Local users are used in workgroup model and they are created and saved on local computers. So this local users, they are created in workgroup model, and as we have discussed, we need to create the username and password on local computer. So in this example, we have 4 computers. Okay, let us say PC1, PC2, PC3, and PC4, and we have 4 users: user 1, user 2, user 3, and user 4. So if user 1 wants to access this PC1, you need to create the username and password for user 1 on this local computer. Okay, again, the same user wants to access the other computer like PC2, PC3, PC4. So you need to go to these three PCs, and you will have to create the user account for user 1. So same way, if user 2 wants to access all the computers, you need to go to all the computers and you need to create the username and password for user 2, and the same thing with user 3 and user 4. And in this example, we have only 4 computers. If you have 100 users and 100 computers, so you need to go to all the 100 computers one by one, and you will have to create the users, all the 100 users one by one in work group model. Okay, so the local users are used in work group model and they are created and saved on local computer. To manage local users, we use this lusrmgr.msc console. Okay, so if it is a work group model, and if you want to open the user console, you will use this command. Then guys, we have domain user. Let us try to understand what is this domain users. So domain users are used in domain model, which means client server model. This is our domain model and we have server and clients here, and they are created on server. So let us say you have 4 users: user 1, user 2, user 3, and user 4. So you are going to create all the users in the domain controller: user 1, user 2, user 3, and user 4. So they are created on server and they are saved on Active Directory database. And what is Active Directory database? ntds.dit. And user can log on to any client using the same account, but not DC. So guys, these users, they can access all the computers in your network. So user one, he can access, let us say he wants to access Windows 8 machine. So he will log on, he will enter, he will provide the credentials, user one, and let us say password 123. So this computer will verify whether this user one is created on domain controller or Active Directory or not. So the same user can access Windows 7, Windows 2000, Windows 2012. Okay, you don't need to create this username and password on local computers. All you need to do is you will create the username and password on domain controller once. That's it. Okay, so they can log on to any client using the same account but not DC. So these are the normal users and they can access all the clients in your network, but they can't log on to this domain controller. Only the administrators can log on to the domain controller. Okay, you need to remember this point. And to manage the users, we use ADUC, Active Directory Users and Computers Console. We will see what is the meaning of this ADUC console when we create the users on Active Directory. And login user account will be verified on server by Kerberos protocol. So as we have discussed, user one wants to access this Windows 8 machine and it will verify the username on domain controller. Who is verifying it? Kerberos protocol. Okay, with the help of this Kerberos protocol, this username and passwords are verified. Let us move forward. Now guys, our lab will be like this. We will create the user accounts in domain controller and create user accounts. User accounts means username and password for Bill and Satya. Let us say you have two employees, Bill and Satya, and you need to create the username and password for them. And your requirement is like this: Bill should change the password on his first login. So what we will do, guys, we will create the username for Bill. Okay, here we will create the username for Bill, and let us say the password is 123, and we will provide this username and password to Bill. Bill doesn't want to use our password. He wants to set his own password. So we will allow him to assign his own password. Okay, Bill should change the password on his first login. So which option you will select? You will select this option. User must change the password at next logon. If you select this option, Bill will get one window. On that window, he will change the password. And Satya should not change the password. So we'll create one username for Satya and we'll type the password. We'll provide the password 123. And we will uncheck this option. If we uncheck this option, he will use our same password. Okay, the password which we have created for him, he is going to use the same password. He will not get the window to change the password at the first login. Later he can change manually, but he will not get the window at the first logon. Okay, after that we'll log in as Bill and Satya and we'll set up the icons. Let us create the username and password for Bill and Satya. We'll go to domain controller. Okay, this is our lab. We have domain controller and we have server 2. Server 2 is nothing but our member server. Let us change the name of this server to member server. We'll click OK and we'll power on this workstation 1 and we'll go to the domain controller and we'll log on to this machine. We provide the password here and we'll click enter. So we have logged in to the domain controller. Okay, we'll wait for a few seconds. We'll let this server settle down. This is the server manager. Okay, guys. And we need to create the username and password. We need to create the user accounts for Bill and Satya. So we'll go to tools. Under tools, we'll go to Active Directory, users and computer, ADUC console. This is the ADUC console. We'll click this option. Then you will expand this ms.com. Under this ms.com, you will find one option, users. Under this users, you will see our administrator and you will see Asif and you will see the other groups as well. So here, what you will do, you will right click. You will need to create a new user, right click, new, and we need to create a user. So we'll select user option here. And the first name is Bill and the last name is Gates, and user logon name, let us give only Bill. Then we'll click next. So guys, Bill should change the password at the next logon. So we'll select this option and we'll provide the password here, mcse123 hash dollar, mcse123 hash dollar. Then we'll click next, finish. So Bill user account is created. Now we need to create the Satya account. We'll right click on users, new, user, Satya, and last name Nadella, and we'll provide user logon name Satya only. Okay, with this username, he will log on to the computers. We'll click next, and Satya should not change the password at next logon. So we'll uncheck this option and we'll select this option, password never expires. So the password will never expire. And if you select this option, user can't change the password, so Satya won't be able to change the password. So we will uncheck it, which means he can, if he wants, he can change the password later. And if you want to disable the account, you will select this option. So we will go with password never expires. Then we'll provide the password. We'll provide the same password, mcse123 hash dollar, mcse123 hash dollar. But in real time, you need to provide the different passwords. We'll click next, finish. So guys, two accounts are created, Bill and Satya. Okay, so what we will do, we'll go to this workstation one and first we'll log on with Bill. So Control Alt Del, this is the Control Alt Del option. And here we'll select other user option and Bill mcse123 hash dollar. Okay, it is saying user name or password is incorrect. Try again. So what is the problem here, Bill? mcse123 hash dollar. Okay, here it is not hash dollar. So let us change the language. mcse123 hash dollar. Now it is hash dollar. Now guys, we are getting this option. User's password must be changed before signing in. Okay, we have selected that option. User should change the password at the next logon. Okay, so we'll click OK, and let us provide the password here, new password. Let us give NOA123 hash dollar. Okay, then we need to confirm the password, NOA123 hash dollar. Now it is changing the password. Your password has been changed. Now guys, we are logging to this computer for the first time with user bill. So what this computer will do, it will create the profile for this user. Creating the profile, nothing but it is creating the space for bill to work. Okay, it is saying hi, and we are getting everything ready for you, which means it is creating the profile for bill user. It is creating the space, you can say, to work. So this might take several minutes. So we have got this desktop. So this desktop is the part of profile. Okay, and on this desktop we have only one icon, recycle bin. So we need to set the other icons as well. So how will you set the other icons? You will right click on start. You will go to settings. Then we'll go to personalization. Then we'll go to themes. So under these themes, we'll select desktop icon settings, and we'll select the icons which we want to be appeared on the desktop. Okay guys, so if you see here, all the icons are available, and Bill Gate folder is created. So this folder is a part of profile. Now guys, what we will do, we will sign out from this user, and we will sign in with Satya account. Control Alt Del, or you will select the other user option, then Satya, and MCSE123 hash dollar. And this time it will not ask you to change the password. Again, it is creating the profile. It is creating the space to work for Satya. Okay. This is the one-time process. When you log on to the first time, when you log on for the first time to any computer, it will create the profile, and it will take some time. Okay, so we have logged on successfully, and you can see we are getting this desktop, and we are getting only one icon on the desktop. So we'll set up the icons. We'll right click on start, settings, then we'll select personalization. Then we'll select themes. Then we'll select desktop icon settings, and we will check the icons, and all the icons are appearing here and with Satya folder. This is the profile of Satya. These two users, Bill and Satya, they can log on to any computer, any client except the domain controller, because they are not admins. Only admins can log on to the domain controller. Let us verify. So what we will do, we will go to domain controller. So we will sign out, or we'll change the username. Let us sign out from administrator. And we'll try to log in with Bill or Satya. Let us try to log in with Bill. It is saying incorrect. Okay, so .com. Anyhow, so it is not allowing you to log on to this domain controller. If you try to access with Satya, okay, so you will get this error. The sign in method you are trying to use isn't allowed, okay, because it is a normal user and domain controller will not allow the normal user to log in. Okay, for more information, contact your network administrator. Okay, so we have already seen how to create the users. Okay, guys, and the default password policy is to enter the complex password with minimum 7 characters. So guys, the password should be complex. What is the meaning of complex password? It should be a combination of capital letters, small letters, numbers, special character. Okay, so the example is MCSE 123 $. So we have capital letter, we have small letters, we have numbers, and we have special character. So this is the meaning of complex password, and you need to enter minimum 7 characters. If you enter, let us say, only MCSE, it will not accept. You should at least enter the 7 characters, minimum 7 characters. Okay, let me show you. What we will do now, we will try to create, we'll try to assign the password less than 7 characters. So how to create the username? You will go to server manager, then you will go to tools. Under tools, you will go to Active Directory, users and computers. Then let us create one user, user1. And we'll click next. And we'll try to provide the password with less than 7 characters. How many characters? Okay, we'll decrease the characters here. So you will get this error. Windows cannot set the password for user 1 because the password does not meet the password policy requirements. Check the minimum password length, password complexity, password history requirements. So guys, we have given the password with less than 7 characters. Okay, this time what we will do, we will provide the 7 characters, but we will not provide the complex password. Okay, we'll simply write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the characters are more than 7, but it will not accept because it is not a complex password. Again, Windows cannot set the password for user 1 because the password does not meet the password policy requirement. Check the minimum length. The length is okay, but the password complexity is not there. We have entered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now what we will do, we'll provide the password as per the default group policy, minimum 7 characters with complexity. So capital M CSE123 hash dollar. Capital M CSE123 hash dollar, and it will accept this password. Okay, so this is the default password policy. You should enter minimum 7 characters with complexity. So guys, we can create number of users based on Windows Server edition. If it is an essential edition, we can create only 25 users. If it is a standard edition, we can create unlimited users, but with the standard edition, we can create only 2 virtual machines. And if it is a data center edition, we can again create unlimited users with unlimited virtual machines. Okay, guys. So the default password policy is to enter the complex password with minimum 7 characters. We have already verified. Okay. So the default password policy is like this. It is having these many options. The first option is enforce password history, 24 password, remember. Maximum password age, 42 days. Minimum password age, 1 day. And if you see minimum password length, it is 7 characters. And password must meet complexity requirement. It is enabled, which means users should enter the complex password. It is enabled. And store password using reversible encryption, it is disabled. Let us try to understand all these fields one by one. Okay, enforcing password history. What is the meaning? So number of unique passwords that must be used before an user can reuse his old password. So it is 24. Let us say guys, if you have given 23 passwords, remember. So what this Active Directory will do, let us say you have given one password ABC and you have changed the password to PQR, and the third time if you are changing the password to ABC again, it will not accept. You need to enter 3 unique passwords. Okay, let us say XYZ. And from the fourth password, you can use your old passwords ABC, PQR, XYZ. So maximum it is 24, which means you should use 24 unique passwords. Then only you can use the old passwords. This is the meaning. Okay, enforcing password history and maximum password age. So user must change the password after 42 days. By default, it is 42 days. So users must change the password after 42 days. So you can increase or decrease. And maximum password minimum, okay, minimum password age. So by default, it is 1. So user should wait for 1 day to change the password. So if user wants to change the password, he has to wait for 1 day. And store passwords using reversible encryption. So what this option will do? Okay, it is enabled. This one, it is disabled. If it is enabled, what this option will do? The password will be saved in reversible order and it will be encrypted. Okay, so we can change the above password settings. Now guys, so we are going to perform these 3 labs. The first lab is the password should be accepted without any complexity. So if you enter the password without any complexity, like you can enter A, B, C, D, okay, and it is not a complex password, so it will accept it. It should accept it. Okay, so we will disable it. Okay, the option is there. And second lab, minimum password length should be 3 characters. And the third lab, the account should be created without any password. Even we can create the account without any password. So we need to change the password policy. Okay, guys. So let us see the first lab. Okay, so password should be accepted without any complexity. So you will go to the group policy. Okay, I will show you how to read the group policy. Okay, to reach the default group policy, you will go to server manager. Under this server manager, you will go to tools. Then you will go to group policy management. You will get this window. Okay, you will expand forest. You will expand domains. Then you will expand ms.com. You will get the default group policy here. You will right click here on this default group policy. You will select edit option. After selecting the edit option, you will get this window. So here you will select computer configuration. Under this computer configuration, you will select policies. Under policies, you will select Windows settings. Under Windows settings, you will select security settings. Under security settings, you will select account policies. Under account policies, you will select this option, password policy. So when you select this password policy, you will get this option. You will get this window. So what you will do, password should be accepted without any complexity. So what you will do, you will disable password must meet complexity requirement. This option. You will select this option and you will disable it. By default, it is enabled. You will disable it and it will accept the password without any complexity. It will accept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let us do this lab first. We'll go to domain controller. So let us open the server manager. We'll do it from scratch. So you will select server manager here. Then you will go to tools. Under tools, you will go to group policy management. Under group policy management, you will expand forest. You will expand domains. You will expand ms.com and it is having the default policy here. So right click default policy, edit. Okay. Then computer configuration, then policies and Windows settings. Under Windows settings, we have security settings. Under security settings, we have account policies. Under account policies, we have these three options: password policy option, account lockout policy, Kerberos policy. So we'll select this password policy option. We'll double click on it. Okay, and we have all these options, and our requirement is it should not accept the complex password. So we'll select this option: password must meet complexity requirement. We will double click on it and we'll disable it. Apply. Okay, so guys, we have made some changes in the group policy. So we need to update the group policy. How will you update the group policy? GP UPD DAT update, GP update. So it is updating the group policy. So computer group policy update has completed successfully. Now guys, what we will do, we'll close this window, then we'll go to tools and we'll go to Active Directory users and computers. And let us create one more user. Let us say user 2. User 2. And we'll click next. And we'll provide the password like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Without any complexity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It should accept it. So if you see, it is accepting the passwords without any complexity. Now guys, let us do our second lab. Our second lab is account should be created without any password. Okay, so to create any account without any password, so what you will do, you will go to minimum password length. Here minimum password length is 7 characters and we'll make it 0. If you make it 0, it will accept the username without any password. Okay, so let us go and change the policy. Again, we'll do it from scratch. So we'll go to server manager, we'll go to start, server manager, then we'll go to tools, and we need to change the group policy. So we'll go to group policy management, then forest domains ms.com default policy. We'll right click, edit, and computer configuration, then policies, Windows settings, then we'll go to security settings. Under this security settings, we have account policies. Under account policies, we have password policy, and it should accept the password. Okay, it should accept the username without any password. So we'll select this option and we'll make it 0. So no password required. If you see here, no password required. And we'll create one more user. User 3. Okay guys, so let me show you one thing. User 3, and we'll click next, and we will not provide any password. Let us see whether it is accepting it or not. So guys, it is not accepting. Why it is not accepting? Because we have changed the group policy, but we didn't update the group policy. So let us update the group policy first. Now it should accept the username without any password. You can see we didn't provide any password here, and this user 3 is created. Now let us see our third lab. Our third lab is minimum password length should be 3 characters. Okay. So what we will do again, we'll go to minimum password length and we'll make it 3. So it will accept the 3 characters without any complexity because we have disabled the complexity as well. So again, guys, we'll do it from scratch. We'll close all the windows. So you can remember the steps. We'll go to start, server manager. Then we'll go to tools. Under tools, we have group policy management. Under group policy management, you will expand forest domains ms.com. Then you will reach to default domain policy and you will edit this default domain policy. Right click edit. Then we'll go to computer configuration, policies, Windows settings. Then we'll go to security settings. Under this security settings, we'll go to account policies. Under this account policies, you will go to password policy. And our requirement is to accept the password with minimum 3 characters. So we'll make it 3. So password must be at least 3 characters. Okay. And the complexity is disabled. So it will accept 3 characters. So we'll go to the server. So it is, we'll go to tools. We'll go to Active Directory, users and computers. Then we'll create one user, user 4. User 4. And we need to update the group policy. User 4 will click next. So guys, what we will do, we'll try to click next without entering any password. So it will give the error. And the error is Windows cannot create the object user 4 because unable to update the password. The value provided for the new password does not meet the length, complexity or history. So guys, it is not meeting the length requirement. So we need to provide at least 3 characters. So we'll provide 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And if you see, it is accepting this password. And we can change the administrator password as well to 1, 2, 3. We will go to how to reset the password. You will go to the user, right click, reset password. So we'll give 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the password is changed. Okay, so if you want to change the password for other users, you will right click, reset password, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is how you will modify the default password policy. So guys, after changing the password, we need to update. After changing the policy, we must update the group policy using this gp update command. And we need to wait for 30 to 180 minutes. Or we can restart the domain controller in non-working hours. Okay. So these things we can do. So now guys, our new topic is permissions. Under this permissions, we'll see account lockout policy. Let us try to understand what is this account lockout policy. So by default, users can attempt unlimited wrong passwords. Okay, but we can set up the limit for wrong password attempts using account lockout policy. You guys, let us say one user is there and we have provided him the password 123, but he is entering the wrong passwords. So he can enter unlimited wrong passwords and his account will not be locked by default. Let me show you. Let us log on with Satya. Okay, we have changed the password. I think 12123. Let us enter the wrong password. Password is incorrect. Again, the password is incorrect, but it will not disable the password, this username, Satya. It will allow unlimited wrong passwords. So guys, we can set the limits. Okay, we can set the limit to 3 wrong password. If he enters 3 wrong password, the account should be disabled. Okay, so this is the account lockout policy. So by default, users can attempt unlimited wrong passwords, but we can set up the limit for wrong password attempts using account lockout policy. And guys, our requirement is like user can enter maximum 3 wrong passwords, then account should be locked. So how will you set the limit? Again, you will go to server manager, then you will go to tools. Under this tools, you will select, it is not showing up here. You need to select the policy. Just 1 second. You will select this group policy management option. Okay guys, so you will go to server manager. Under this server manager, you will go to tools. Under tools, you will go to group policy management. Then this window will be opened. So you will expand forest domains ms.com. You will get the default policy option. Then you will right click and you will edit it. Then you will get this window. After that, you will expand computer configuration. Then you will expand policies. Then you will expand Windows settings. Then again, you will expand security settings. Under the security settings, we have 3 options. Password policies, which we have already seen. And the second option is account lockout policy. So you will select this account lockout policy and you will get these 3 options. The first option is account lockout duration. The second option is account lockout threshold. The third option is reset account lockout counter after not defined. So what is the first option? Account lockout duration. So the time in minutes that the account will be locked off. So let us say you have entered 3 wrong passwords. Okay, and you will provide the time. So for how many minutes this account should be disabled. So we can give 0 to 99,999 minutes. So when set to 0, account will be remain locked until the administrator manually unlocks it. If you give 0 and user has given the 3 wrong passwords. So it will be locked. He will contact you and you will disable it. Okay. And account lockout threshold. So number of, what is the meaning of this option? The number of failed attempts and user is allowed. So we will provide 3 here. It is 0, which means it can enter unlimited wrong password. So we'll give the limit here to 3. If the value is 0, the account will not lock out. The setting can be from 0 to 999. So we can maximum allow the users to enter 999 wrong passwords. Then reset account lockout counter after. So reset account lockout counter after 0 to minimum you can give 0 and maximum you can give 9900 99,999 minutes. Okay. So let us say if you have given 1, so after 1 minute the account will be reset. User can log on. Okay. So you can give the value from 0 to 99,999 minutes. So let us do this lab, guys. So we need to update the policy. Okay, so we must update the group policy after the changes using this command gp update, and we'll try to log on with wrong passwords and the account will be locked. And how to unlock? User should wait for the counter to reset or he should contact the administrator. So administrator will go to the user. Let us say we will try with bill user. Okay, so we'll go to bill user, right click, then we'll go to accounts and you will get this option here, unlock account. Okay, so we'll select this unlock option, and after that what we will do, we will log in with correct password. So let us do this lab, account lockout. So again we'll close all the windows. We'll do it from scratch. We'll go to server manager, or we can bring this server manager here. Then we'll go to tools. Under this tools, we'll go to group policy management. Under group policy management, we'll expand forest domains ms.com. Then default group policy, we'll right click to this default group policy, edit. Then computer configuration, policies, then Windows settings, then security settings, then account policies. Under this account policies, we select account lockout policy. And here we'll give the lockout threshold to 3. We'll click OK. Okay, then we'll click OK here. So 3 invalid logons attempt. Then we'll update the group policy. GP update. Okay, guys. So what we will do, we will try to log on with bill. And we'll provide the wrong password. So it is like when you enter the wrong password at the time of withdrawing the money in ATM. Okay, your password, your card will be locked. Okay, you need to contact the bank to enable your card. So it was the second attempt. Third attempt. Let us try to log in for the fourth time. Okay, and we are getting this message: the referenced account is currently logged out, may not be logged onto. Okay, so it is locked. So this user has to contact the administrator. Administrator will unlock this account. So how the administrator will unlock? Again, he will go to server manager, tools, active directory, users and computers, and he will go to the user bill, right click, properties, accounts, and if you see here, we need to check this option, unlock account. So this account is currently locked out on this active directory domain controller. So we need to unlock this account. Then we will apply the setting. Okay. Then guys, we'll go to the workstation and we log on with correct password. Okay, so user's password must be changed before signing in because we have selected that option. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Please changing that option, then your password has been changed. We are able to log on to this workstation using bill user. So again, we are dealing with permissions, and in this section we will restrict the users. So by default, a domain user can log on to all the client computers, workstation and member server. So let us say we have created one user bill and his password is 123. So this bill user by default, he can log on to all the computers in the network. There is no restriction here by default, but we can restrict the user to log into a specific client. Example, Bill can log in only to workstation 1. Okay, so how to do this? So our requirement is like Bill can access only workstation 1. So the steps, will log on to domain controller. Okay, then we'll go to server manager. Then we'll go to tools. Then we'll go to active directory, users and computers. Then we'll go to users. Okay, here. and we'll select this bill user, okay, because we want to restrict this user to access workstation 1. So we'll right click on Bill Gates, okay, then we'll go to accounts, and guys, we need to copy and paste the computer name, okay. So the computer name is workstation 1, so Bill can log in to workstation 1 only, okay, he can't log on to the other computers. So then we will do the verification. We'll try to log in to workstation 1 using Bill. So he will be allowed to access workstation 1. And if we try to access the member server, he won't be able to access it. So guys, before restricting Bill, what we will do, we will try to log in to this member server and workstation 1. So let us log in this member server using Bill account. The password is 1234. So if you see, this Bill user is able to log on this member server, and he can log on to workstation. And if you have hundreds of computers, this Bill user can log on to all those 100 computers by default without any restriction. But this time what we will do, we will restrict this Bill to log on to only workstation 1. So we'll go to domain controller, we'll close all the windows, we'll open the server manager, we'll go to tools, okay, we'll go to Active Directory users and computers. Then guys, we'll go to this user Bill, right click, then we'll go to properties, then we'll go to accounts, and here we'll select this option log on to, and by default if you see here, he is allowed to access all the computers. But what we will do, we will restrict him to access only one computer, which is workstation 1. Let us take the name, we'll go to this computer, properties, and here it is, the device name is workstation 1. Copy, then we'll go to computer name and we'll paste it here. Okay, so it is not taking, so let us type it manually, workstation -1. Then we'll add this computer, then we'll click OK, apply and OK. Now guys, we'll log out from this member server. Previously it was able to log in. Then we'll try to log in this member server one more time. One, two, three, four. If you see, your account is configured to prevent you from using this PC. Please try another PC. So we'll go to workstation 1, and he should access this workstation 1. So the password is 1234. And if you see, this Bill user is able to access workstation 1, he won't be able to access the other computers. So guys, we'll set the logon hours for users. By default, a domain user can log in to clients anytime. Okay, so they are allowed to access 24/7 by default. But we can restrict the user to log in at a specific time. Like Satya can log in to clients only from Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, by default, he can log into any device at any time. Okay, 24/7. So we can restrict them. So how to restrict them? Again, our requirement is like Satya can log into clients only from Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the steps, you will open the server manager, then you will go to tools, then you will select the Active Directory users and computers, and you will select the user Satya. Okay, so after selecting the Satya again, right click properties, then you will go to accounts. After selecting the accounts, you will select this option, log on hours. Then you will get this window. So here you will select the timing. I will show you how to do it. So guys, let us go to Satya. Let us click, let us close all the things and we'll do it from scratch. We'll go to tools, Active Directory users and computers. Then we'll select the user Satya. Okay. And we'll go to properties. Then we'll go to accounts, log on hours. So if you see green means he can access the computer from Sunday to Saturday at any time from 12 to 12. Okay, 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. But we want to restrict him. So what we will do, we will select this option, log on denied. And our requirement is from Monday to Friday and 10 to 6. So we'll select this option, Monday to Friday, 10 to 6. If you see here, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then we'll select this option, login permitted. So green means it is permitted from Monday to Friday and 10 to 6 p.m. So we'll select this, we'll click OK, apply, OK. Okay guys, so now what we will do, we'll try to log in with Satya. We'll change the password to 123. We'll click OK. Then we'll go to this workstation 1, sign out. Password is 123. And you will get this message. Your account has time restrictions that prevent you from signing in at this time. Please try again later. Okay, so you can restrict the users based on time. And we'll go to Satya properties, accounts, log on hours, and we'll permit from Sunday to Saturday at any time. Apply. Okay guys, so let us conclude the session, and if you have any doubt you can ask. So guys, today we'll see how to assign the admin rights to a normal user. So let us say you have two system administrators, Bill and Satya, in your organization. and you should not give them the administrator user account to them. Okay, instead of providing the administrator account to Bill and Satya, what you will do, you will make them administrator. You will give the administrator rights to Bill and Satya user instead of giving the administrator account. Okay, guys. So by default, as we have discussed, a normal user can't access the domain controller. Okay, let me show you. Let us go to the domain controller and we'll try to log on to domain controller with Bill and Satya user account. If you see here, the sign in method you are trying to use isn't allowed, which means a normal user can't access the domain controller and you can't give them the administrator username and password. So let us try to log on with Satya as well. Again, the sign in method you are trying to use isn't allowed. So what you will do, you will assign the admin rights to Bill and Satya user. Let us see how to assign the admin rights. So guys, so before assigning the admin rights to Bill and Satya, we tried to log on to DC. We were unable to log on it. Then let us assign the rights, admin rights to the normal users. So how will you go? How will you assign the admin rights? You will go to Active Directory users and computers. Then you will go to users. Then you will go to domain admins. You have one group called domain admin. So this group is created by default. Okay, then you will go to members. After selecting this domain admins, you will select this members. Under this members, you will select this add option. You will get this window. And here you will add the users, normal users, Bill and Satya. Then you will click OK. So under this members, you will have Bill and Satya here. Previously, it was only administrator. Now under this members option, you will have Bill and Satya. Then you will click OK. Now they have got the admin rights. Okay, then we'll go to Active Directory. So we'll log on to DC with Bill and Satya account. So let us go to domain controller. We'll log on to this domain controller with administrator. And we have changed the password to 123. Then guys, we'll go to server manager. Under this server manager, we'll go to tools. Under tools, we'll go to Active Directory, users and computers. Then we'll go to this group, domain admins. Okay, so we'll double click on it. Then we'll go to members. And in this group, domain admin group, we have only the administrator. Okay, so we'll add Bill and Satya. You will type Bill and you will check the names. So if it is available, if this user is created, you will get the username here and Satya. Then we'll check the names and you will get the Satya Nadella as well. So we'll click OK. Now under these members, we have Bill and Satya and they can log on to this domain controller. So we need to apply and we'll click OK. And then we'll log out or we'll change the user here. Okay, we'll switch the user. Bill 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you see, guys, we are able to log on to this domain controller because the bill is administrator now. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Azan is going on. All right, guys. So we have logged in with the user bill here on the domain controller because bill is the administrator now. Okay, so we can set up the icons as well. You will go to settings. Then you will go to personalization. Then you will go to themes, desktop icons. You select the icons here. They will be appeared on the desktop. Now let us log out. So you can see the profile here. And let us log out from this bill account. We'll log in with Satya now. The password is 123. And we are logged in for the first time and it is creating the profile for Satya Nadella. So guys, if you see here, we are able to log on to this domain controller because the Satya is also the administrator now. And if you want, you can set up the icons as well. You go to settings. Then you will go to personalization. Then you will go to themes, desktop icon settings. Check the icons. All the icons will be appearing on the desktop. So this is how you will provide the admin rights to a normal user.